everybody? Welcome back to Hoeology Podcast. This is episode 2. This is Destiny, and I am here today with a very special guest. We are going to be talking about sexual stereotypes. On Hoeology, we like to start off with our tweet of the week. Our tweet of the week today says, serious question. What's the difference between a fetish and a preference? For example, I love dark-skinned black women, prefer to only date them. Is that a fetish or a preference? Before we get into it, we're going to go ahead and introduce our guest, Nick. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Glad to be on this show. My name's Nick, part of the TheSweeterman podcast.
Yes, shout out to the TheSweeterman.
Shout out to TheSweeterman pod. We've had Destiny on now, like two. We've had two episodes now, so
hopefully more to come.
More to come, definitely. But yeah, happy to be on here. Shout out to the Hoeologist.
Thank you. Real quick, Nick, go ahead and describe yourself for the ladies. If you haven't seen, I've posted Nick on my Instagram a few times, mostly on videos of when I was on their podcast, but I did post a nice little clip of Zaddy, as we call him.
Is that what they call me? No, just like she's giving me way too much credit. I'm 6'2". I think I'm an athletic build. You think I'm an athletic build?
I think yes.
An athletic build.
He definitely has abs.
Yeah, do some sit-ups here and there. I play basketball, so that's kind of like the body type I go for. I would think.
Yes.
Got that good jawline.
He's got a cute butt. I can't see his dick print in his sweatpants, so there's that. He does have a nice haircut. No tattoos. What else? Cute lips, nice nose, cute eyes. That's really it.
Damn. And no personality.
He has very good, features, I'd say. He's very attractive, ladies. And he's single. Don't know if he's ready to mingle, though. We'll get there later. So back to our topic of today. It's all about sexual stereotypes, preference versus fetish, how to decide what's what, and how to be appropriate when dating, right? So I personally think everyone has their own fetish. I don't really think I can narrow down my preference, but we're going to try, right?
All right.
Do you think you have a fetish?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you know what it is?
I do. Well, my fetish, based not on that tweet, but my fetish, and this is exclusive because I don't think I've ever brought this up.
Only on Hoeology.
My fetish is actually skirts. So it's an item. It's an attire.
That's sexy.
I don't know why.
Do you like tight skirts, not
a variety?
Skirts, but
I'll say a variety.
Mini skirts.
Anything, yeah.
Do you like the ones that go all the way down to your ankle, like church skirts?
No, I mean this is I'm talking this is during sex,
dress up?
Yeah. I wouldn't say
Are you into role play?
No, not role play. It's just I just like the skirts.
So you want her to wear a skirt with nothing underneath?
Nope.
That's hot. That's sexy.
Yeah.
Let me go give me a skirt tonight. My fetish is masturbation. I literally could watch a guy, a girl, whoever masturbate. I love it. It's pretty much my favorite porn category. And I kind of realized I was obsessed with watching it because I'm I like to see other people pleasing themselves. So yeah, that's my fetish.
Interesting. So if you're with a partner and they were just you just say no, just whip that shit out and just go to work and you just
kind of, but I feel ladies know what I'm talking about. When you're and you guys know too. When you guys are about he's about to nut when y'all are fucking and he pulls out and starts stroking his dick to finish. Okay. That in that 3 or 5 seconds from him stroking to about to nut, I'm so turned on even more. That's probably when I'd be dripping, this is so sexy. And then I kind of took that energy. I was just fuck it, let me type female masturbation POV because I like to be close up because I feel I'm right there. And then it's just the ultimate turn on. It's so sexy.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So now that we've discussed our fetishes, what would you say is your preferences for sex or for the person that you're having sex with?
My preference? Okay. So I think my preference would just start off with the body type.
Okay.
Usually any range for me personally would have to be the petite.
Okay.
Petite but proportional. Mm-hmm. Definitely an ass guy. So like the chest is cool, you know, like, but I'm not. That's not like picky on that. Like,
Okay.
I'm not picky on that.
I like ass too.
Let's see. Height. So petite is I think anywhere between 5 foot. I guess even 4'11", right? 4'11" to 5'4".
That's not awkward for you sexually because you're so tall.
No, I just think it gives me more things to do. Like I can like lift them up. And like it's just more easier to maneuver. I think.
That makes sense, actually. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Go on.
I mean, there are some like downsides to it being tall and then being small, but that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I think that race, I don't think that really matters for me. You know, okay. I don't really see color, right?
Down with the swirl, down with everything.
Down with everything. Let's see. Personality, if we want to get into it, because I think preference, it's not just the physical. Yeah. And that actually might be a point though off that tweet. A preference, maybe a fetish could be based off someone physically too, right? Because
yes, to an extent. So, matter of fact, we're gonna pause your preferences. Yes. We're gonna define each one, okay, and then we'll go from there. So, technically, the definition of a fetish is a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item of clothing, or part of the body. So that kind of fits with your skirt, right? Mm-hmm. And then I guess part of the body for me would be, I don't know, the dick or vagina for masturbation. And then a preference is described as favor shown to one person or thing over another or others. So that one's kind of hard, actually, like preference, I feel.
I think it's a fine line, right?
It really is. It's hard to like, because I feel like sometimes people merge the two, but in some instances, it's okay. Like, it's mergeable.
I agree. I mean, right? You can, like, I have a friend who's Spanish, but his preference is just, like, black girls. Like, that's it for him.
Yeah. But I wonder, like, what about it? Like, what about black girls specifically? Because then that could become, like,
but that could be a fetish. Just like, I know, like, they're, like, if it's a white guy and he's into, like, Asian girls.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's it. He's an Asian fetish. Like, I've heard that term a lot. So,
like, what is it about that specific race or look of people that you're only attracted to that? Is it, like, black girls because they have big asses, or is it Asian girls because they're super petite? Like,
but it could have been something maybe when they were young. Maybe the first porno they saw was like,
that's true.
You know, like,
that's true.
Or maybe they're like the first girl they kissed was maybe that race. You know what I mean? Like,
my first kiss was a white boy, and all my exes after that were white. So, damn, this is some trauma we're looking at.
So really, yeah. So you have a fetish,
but now that's what. Also, on the last episode, we talked about like I feel like I don't have a type. But then last night when we were doing your pod, it was like, I like dad bods. And I do like dad bods. So maybe if you just have a sit down and talk with yourself about what you like, and you can figure out from there what your preferences are.
I agree. I mean, I like for like me and my friends, like I know what theirs is based off their track record.
Definitely.
So you can start to see the trend like, well, all right, my friend, he loves like girls with long legs. So he goes for girls that are like 5'7", you know. Like, we're like tall girls.
Stallions, they call them.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I have, like, you know, or, like, you know, friends that, you know, shout out to, like the bigger girls, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a friend he is a smaller guy, but he loves, like, thick, curvy girls. And I love that because I feel like more people need to love thick, curvy girls because that's enough ass for both of us. But... So, we're going to play a little game, if you don't mind.
Yes.
All right. We're going to do fetish or preference. I'm going to read a statement, and you're going to tell me if you think it's a fetish or preference, and then I'll tell you what I think. Or if I disagree with you.
Okay.
So, first one. I could never fuck a white guy because they have tiny pink dicks.
That'd be like an anti-fetish, right?
Yeah, anti-fetish. Ooh, we got new vocab on the show.
Yeah.
Anti-fetish. Okay.
Only here on the Hoeology. Now, because that's just saying like it's not. She doesn't want a white guy because of the pink dick, which isn't true. But you know, I don't think it is. Is it?
It's true in some. Yes. What the hell? It's true. They're not all tiny and pink, but actually, we're not gonna go there. But they are pink. Some of them tiny. They're not tiny. I'm not gonna say that because I've met black guys with tiny dicks, and black guys are supposed to have BBCs, and that's not true.
Stereotype.
So, yeah, exactly. Sexual stereotype. Okay, number 2 is white girls give better head.
I think that's just a stereotype. Like, that's just...
But is it a fetish? So, like, if you only get head from white girls because they give better head?
No. I think that's just... That's a preference. Like, that's
definitely a fetish.
Is it?
Listeners, is it a fetish or a preference? You guys have to
it's a preference because you think they give better head because that's what you're into, right? Like,
it don't matter her skin tone or her lack of skin color, I should say. Is lips a suction and a tongue?
I guess it could be a fetish. That's right.
Like,
you're right.
If you say, like, most of the white girls that have given me head were top notch, or the best head I've ever gotten was from a white girl, but you can't generalize and say white girls give better head just because you've had a single or maybe a couple experiences where it was great.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have had maybe 2 white girls that gave you like fire head, and then like maybe 1 Asian chick, 1 Spanish chick, like just weren't up to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can't say like white girls give better head as like a justification as to why you don't get head from black girls or why you don't get head from Hispanic girls. Like, you get what I'm saying?
People really would just be like, yo, you Spanish? Nah, I don't want head. Like, really?
These niggas be grimy out here.
That's wild.
Next, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
That's definitely a fetish.
Definitely.
That's definitely a fetish.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't know.
I'm dead. All right. I heard Asian men have small dicks.
No, that's a stereotype. I don't know. Would it be a preference, or that's just like a?
I think it's an anti-fetish.
I think it's an anti-fetish. It's similar to the pink dick thing, like.
Yeah, and we were talking about this yesterday, like how people, like, I feel like I've never been, I'm gonna say, confident enough to approach an Asian guy, even if I find him attractive. Because I feel like I would never have a chance. Like, I feel like there's this, like, stereotype of, like, racism in interracial dating, period. I mean, shit, it wasn't even legal until 1972 in the United States, so.
I've never thought that. I think it just depends on what kind of Asian. Personally, I think...
But how do you know?
Because I think if you're Americanized Asian, you don't really see it like that. But then when you have, like
the racism, like, to hold, like, not, like, I guess holding you back, like, does that never crosses your mind?
Again, for me it might be a little different just because, like, I've been like a military brat. I've like,
oh yeah,
I like grew up in
TRICARE,
so many
ladies,
different
he's got TRICARE.
I don't got TRICARE.
But I'm just like, I don't know, I think I'm not gonna say intimidated, but I just, in the back of my head, it's like, yeah, right, like, you would never have a chance. Even though I'm a cute girl and he's like a cute guy, I don't think that, like, I just have never thought it's okay to approach him.
But I see that, but then why do we see it flipped where you'll see like an Asian girl with a black dude?
I don't know.
And why is that acceptable? But then
it's not that it's not acceptable.
No, I know. Well, like, you know what I mean. It's not that it's not acceptable, but that's more common, like, visually.
Yeah.
But then seeing it like flipped, where it's like a Asian guy.
Yeah, and a black girl.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Does that kind of porn exist? If you can find an Asian man and a black woman on a porn, send it to me. And I will watch it, and then I will try to talk to an Asian man. Next is, I've always wanted to try a BBC. BBC is Big Black Cock. If you didn't know.
I think that's a fetish.
Great porn, by the way.
That's a fetish.
Definitely a fetish. Have you heard of Blacked?
No. What is that?
It's like, I don't want to call it like a porn company, but it's like a website. Basically a bunch of white girls getting, like, dicked down by, like, black guys with huge dicks. But it's, like, almost like glorifying the fetish. So I can't look away because I like BBC, but, like, it's actually kind of horrible.
I think just, like, in a common known thing, or kind of like a set stereotype, is like, I think black guys are kind of the sex symbol.
Definitely.
When it comes to that, like, that's... I think that's something that's been established for, like, years and years and years. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely, I think, a fetish.
Okay, I agree. I love girls with natural hair.
Fetish.
Preference.
Preference?
Preference. I've heard...
Actually, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I've heard guys tell me, like, they prefer me to wear my natural hair than to wear, like, weave or something, but that doesn't mean, like, they only talk to girls with natural hair.
I see what you're saying. Like for me personally, like
regardless, I'm gonna switch it up.
Okay.
Period.
It's kind of like with Spanish girls when they have like the natural curly hair. I prefer that over like the straightened hair.
Yeah. So that's like just like an aesthetics thing.
Yeah.
Definitely a preference. I choose ass over titties.
Preference.
Definitely a preference. This is an ass house. We don't care about your titties. Next is I only date Mexicans to piss my dad off.
It's daddy issues. No, that's daddy issues.
That's racist.
I mean that could, but that's just racist. Like no, I don't know. Maybe she was like, they had like a garden or something. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I just feel like overall sexual stereotypes can be very limiting when it comes to dating, when it comes to just fucking around, because you could be missing out on some great dick or some great pussy, some great head. You never know. Just because you're limited and you're scared of pink dicks.
But also, I mean, a fetish could be something that maybe you don't get. Like maybe a fetish is something that it's because you naturally seek it, where that's why you're kind of into it. Like for example, maybe say like some kind of like scrawny nerdy white guy. Like for him, chances are he can't go to like Ybor or he can't go to like the club and pull like like a beautiful black chick. So maybe that becomes his fetish. He fantasizes about that. You see what I'm saying? So
I would just need to look deeper into why someone is into what they're into.
Yeah, it has to be on their past or something. Like for me, now that you gave it away, like skirts.
No, I gave it away. You gave it away.
Wait, no, I gave that away. But I'm saying, but now that they know that I'm Asian, I mean that could have came from like when I was in Japan. Like we used to have to wear uniforms, so the girls used to wear the skirts, like the school skirts.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I don't know if that's where it's from. But I think that's where I first like acknowledged it as when I was a kid.
Yeah, and that's actually deep as fuck. Now I'm thinking because, if you're like a new listener, you don't know this, but if you're an old listener, you guys know I didn't start masturbating until I was 21, when I had like my sugar daddy teach me literally how to masturbate, because I was like, I don't need it. I have guys, like I don't need to fuck myself. And then at 21 years old, I had my very first orgasm. So I think that's maybe why I'm into, because originally I only watched like lesbian porn, but I didn't do anything. I just kind of watched it just to see what was like going down.
Yeah.
But now that I know how to masturbate, I know what I like, I now watch masturbation porn.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
But see, but
into this.
But just thinking about that now, maybe because that's something you didn't do for so long.
Yeah.
And then when you finally did that was, you just said that was your first orgasm. So that means you must have had sex with a few guys and never got that orgasm.
Correct.
And now that you had it through masturbation, now you're fascinated with that.
That's deep as fuck. Here on Hoeology, we are unpacking some
Bars.
Real shit. Like, damn. Okay, so I want to know, whatever porn you guys watch, think about how or why you watch it and how that's your fetish. Because I know for me and my friends, we'll like share links with each other, like, or we all kind of generally watch the same type. But now I want to know why. Because most of my friends watch like lesbian porn, but they've also been in lesbian relationships. I don't mean bisexual. I mean like lesbian relationships. So maybe they missed that.
Maybe
because my one friend said that her lesbian relationship was the best sex she's ever had.
But since then, is she bisexual?
I would consider her bisexual.
Is she right now currently like just seeing guys, or is she, okay? Then maybe that's just something she like longly like misses. You know what I mean? Where she just wants to kind of.
So I always thought when I watched lesbian porn, it was because I like to see a woman getting pleased. Because I feel like in heterosexual porn, it's like 20 minutes of him getting his dick sucked, 2.5 seconds of her getting fucked, and then him nutting, and then her sucking his dick again for 10 more minutes. Okay. And that's not enjoyable to me. So that's why I like to watch either someone pleasing themselves or lesbian porn, because it's only women getting pleased.
I agree.
I
agree. I mean, you got to think like, what if somebody, maybe they went out one night and then like a girl sucked them up like in the back of a park, like back of the alleyway, like in public. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And maybe that thrill, that rush, is why maybe they're into like, like the public like porn.
Yeah,
you know what
like
I'm saying?
Those girls that get like walking down the sidewalk and like $100 for a blowjob.
Yeah, so like maybe that like there are things that like people probably stem from that.
That's true.
So there you go, right there on the Hoeologist, your boy Nick from the Sweeterman Paul has just solved why you watch the porn that you watch. And I'm just like,
oh my gosh. So that kind of brings us back full circle to fetish or preference. So since we're ending the episode, I do want to kind of bring in and ask you a question, which is going to tie into the next episode with another guest.
Oh, shit.
If you could say one thing to your ex, what would you say?
Damn. Okay, let me just be toxic just because it's the pod.
Oh, so toxic. We love toxicity here.
I'd be kind of curious to see like her track record since me.
You don't follow her or see her on social media?
No. But I've had my closure, so like I have no like.
Was it a
desire.
bad ending?
It might have been bad at the time, but since it was like so long ago, like.
How long ago?
It's been a couple years, so like yeah, I mean, for me personally, I would maybe just want to know who she's been with, just so I can compare like if she's upgraded or downgraded. No, not to like, not as a way to see like, damn, well, has she moved on, but to really see and kind of laugh and be a little toxic and be like, yo, like you couldn't find better. And I think it's kind of like a bittersweet, bittersweet thing.
All right. Well.
What about you? No, don't end it.
I'm not ending it. Okay. I am going to dive into it with my ex. He is going to be on my next podcast.
Oh, shit.
We are going to be talking about his cheating and my reaction to his cheating, all of our toxic love and terrible, terrible time together, and how we were able to forgive each other, overcome it, and become friends that we are now.
Only on this podcast can she bring back her ex and talk about this kind of shit, which is wild.
Yep. And if you went to college with me, you know exactly who I'm talking about. It's going to be a really fun, hilarious, toxic episode.
Yo, I'm already excited for that. I'm already excited to watch that.
He's been like super just open to it, so I'm very grateful. And yeah, stay tuned. Thank you again for tuning into Hoeology. Nick, do you want to drop your Instagram so the ladies can not get followed by you or not get accepted?
Well, I'm gonna definitely drop my first Instagram at TheSweeterman Podcast because that is our podcast. I do it with my co-host Will and T, and Destiny's on, and she's always welcomed.
Thank you.
At any given time.
Thank you.
We're also on Spotify, so if that's where you're hearing it from, I know you just got on Apple, right?
Yes.
So yeah, she's on Apple. We're not, but
yet
we're on not yet, but on Spotify. If you want to see our visuals, see what I look like, definitely go on YouTube.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And as always, if you guys have questions or want to reach out to me, it's at it's.destiny, DSTANY. Don't spell it wrong or I'll kill you. And you guys can tune in and listen for the next episode. See you next week.
Awesome. Thank you.